On April 20th, the European Union overwhelmingly voted for MiCA's crypto regulation. What does that really mean? Let's dive into this. Welcome back, everyone. All right, switching gears, we're going to go across the pond today and take a look at some of the regulation that is coming out of the European Union. And we're talking about this MiCA regulation, which, I mean, maybe I had heard of it before, but really, I don't remember. So yeah, let's dive into this. Let's see what it is, and let's try to figure out the real reasons why this regulation needs to be passed, or the government thinks this regulation needs to be passed. Here we go. The vote passed with 517 for and only 38 against. There will be a formal council vote that will finalize the regulation on May 16th. MiCA requires crypto companies to register in one of the EU's member states. The European Securities and Markets Authority, as well as the European Banking Authority, will oversee compliance of crypto firms. Okay, before we continue with this article, let's dive into a little bit more what MiCA really is, because that makes it sound like all they got to do is register. It's all good. Yeah, let's go take a look at that, because there's obviously some nuance, right? Let's dive into the scope of what they term crypto assets. Anyways, MiCA regulates primary market activities, issuance, public offerings, and access to the secondary markets, listings, as well as the provision of certain crypto-related services. With regard to the latter, MiCA provides a catalog of a total of 10 services defined as crypto asset services, Article 3.1, number 9, which is inspired by the list of the investment services under the Markets in Financial Instruments Directive, 2014-65 EU. The list includes services such as the custody and administration of crypto assets on behalf of third parties and the operation of a trading platform. MiCA regulates activities involving crypto assets. The term crypto asset is broadly defined as any digital representation of value or a right which may be transferred and stored electronically using distributed ledger technology or similar technology. MiCA introduces 3 subcategories of crypto assets that are subject to different requirements adjusted to the risks they entail. I just find it so funny, because I want you guys to just take the frame of reference, right? These are people, these are, right, like all people, okay? These are people who can't actively manage the monetary policy of their region or their country. And literally the only thing they can do, all they can do is print money and take money out of the economy, right? So they take money out of the economy, cause problems, print money, and add it to the economy. And then, of course, we just have a whole bunch of really elegant terminology to explain away this very basic function for more complex, confusing terminology, which, of course, only experts can, read between the lines and understand. But anyways, okay, we're going to continue along here. All right, here's the first type: electronic money tokens, or e-money tokens. EMTs are crypto assets that purport to maintain a stable value by referencing to the value of one official currency. Like traditional e-money, EMTs are electronic surrogates for coins and banknotes that are likely to be used for payment purposes. So I really appreciate the use of their term official currency, because really that just means that a government created it. That's all it means. That's the only thing that makes it official. And then, of course, the writing on it that lets you know it's legal tender. If that wasn't written on it, it wouldn't be legal tender, I guess. But I think that really what's important here is they're talking about electronic IOUs. Okay, that's what I understood from that. So the next asset, the next crypto asset referenced tokens, ARTs, aim to maintain a stable value by referencing to any other value or right or a combination thereof, including one or more official currencies. For example, ARTs could be backed by a basket of different fiat currencies, commodities, or crypto assets. Okay, so again, it's just it's just more IOUs, and what gives these IOUs a different type of value than the previous type of IOU is the type of asset that can back it. Whereas with EMTs, they would act as, like it says, surrogates for coins and banknotes. ARTs, okay, could be using currency as well as commodity or other shit coins. I mean crypto assets. Anyways, the third subcategory is a catch-all category for all other crypto assets that are not EMTs or ARTs, which thus covers a wide variety of crypto assets, including non-pegged payment tokens, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ether, and utility tokens. MiCA lays down a few specific rules for utility tokens, defined as a type of crypto asset which is only intended to provide access to a good or service supplied by the issuer of that token. Now, before we go back to the original article, now that we have a good understanding here of the granularity of the MiCA regulations, I just want to point out something. They grouped Ethereum with Bitcoin, which that is just false. And I know there's a lot of shitcoiners that don't want to believe that ETH is a security. And again, I've had to explain this. I don't actually want ETH to be a security per se. But I think what people need to understand is that the way in which it was released, the speech that Joe Lubin gave explaining the value proposition and that you could make more money based on your investment, and also the way that Vitalik spoke about it as well. Guys, I'm sorry. This was created with the idea that it would increase in value and provide an ROI. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are not the same in any way, shape, or form. So right away, we can already see that these regulations, they're already hokey, because they're grouping Bitcoin and Ethereum into the same boat, and it is not the same thing. One of them is a casino token that drives absolutely nothing but liquidity traps and rug pulls, whereas the other one offers a censorship-resistant alternative to the current monetary debasement that we live through. So this is very different stuff. Anyways, all right, let's go back to the original article and continue. My support for these rules is based on the fact that this legislation brings transparency, protects consumers, and aids financial stability. I have zero interest in creating a market or in fostering the use of crypto assets, as the Commission has stated it wishes to do, said Chris McManus, member of the European Parliament. Under the rules, crypto firms will also be required to disclose the environmental impact of crypto assets to customers. Here we go. The environmental impact. I wonder, has the government actually looked into what their environmental impact is? All those government buildings, all of that electricity, all of the materials that it took to create those buildings that really aren't actually necessary. What about the environmental impact of all the banks? What about the environmental impact of the military, right? What about all that? So it's very interesting, because we live in a culture where we essentially punish. We punish the end users, right? So we are the end users, and we are punished, right? Like, for example, you go to Starbucks, right? They give you one of these shitty fake plant-based straws. I'm sorry, but why the hell am I having a reduced experience because we've got a bunch of people or a bunch of corporations that simply won't do their due diligence in actually figuring out what the proper way to handle that type of environmental issue? No. So instead, what do? You punish the user. You know what? You need to drink out of a crappy straw. That's what you deserve. Forget about Starbucks for choosing an inferior product. Forget about the companies that mass produce these plastics, knowing the chemical and toxicity content of all these plastics. That's irrelevant. You, as the Starbucks drinker, you're the problem, okay? And you need to suffer. So here's a shitty straw. And then that's just obviously one example. There are many, many other examples. But I find that this is absolute projection. I mean, look, they always use the same thing. It's for your security. It's for financial stability. It's for transparency. So let me ask you this. During the mortgage crisis, where was this transparency? And then after that, all the bailouts. Did we as individuals get to choose what happened with all of that money printing? Of course not. Of course not. Only the competent architects, they are the ones that get to decide. You and me, we're freaking peons. We stay in our lane, okay? Just do what we're told. Wrapping it up. Overall, we are putting safeguards in place that would prevent companies active on the EU market from engaging in some of the practices. Here we go, more securing you in the practices that led certain crypto asset operators to collapse in recent months. That's right, guys. Look, they're going to create this regulation because they want to protect you. They want to protect me. They care about us, right? Those people that we've never met that have no idea that we exist on this planet, they care about you and they care about me. And we're supposed to believe that. Make no mistake, this has nothing to do with transparency. This has nothing to do with financial stability. This all has to do with control and making sure that power stays with the right people and the right groups. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you all next week.